Hi, I'm Leona, and in this video, I'm going to tell you why I call myself handicapped and hot. And to help me do that is my husband, Daniel Prado from Daniel Prado Worldwide.
Hello,
Hi,
how's
Daniel.
everybody doing? Well, I didn't know that I was doing this today, but anything for my wife, right? Uh, why did you want to do this video today? What made you what made you come up with this idea to make a video about this particular subject today?
Well, I know a lot of people wonder why I call myself handicapped and hot, and there's other people who wonder why I have a cane. And, there's a lot of questions out there that I don't generally like to answer. So I think if I put all the answers to all the questions that I've gotten over the years out, then people won't have to ask me. And then it's also like an introduction to my new YouTube.
There you go. Well, I guess that's a good enough reason. I just,
Thanks.
because I suspect that some people probably might think that you think this way because you're conceited in some way, but that I don't think that has anything to do with it, though, right?
Of course not. Yeah, I haven't gotten that. I haven't heard anybody say that to me, but I'm sure they do think that. But
Well, I mean, handicapped and hot. It's a very direct.
bold
I mean,
statement.
yeah, but yeah, it's very like wow, like really okay, So, but let's just get into the questions since we're already at it, right? I mean, we have some questions here that you're going to be able to answer. Hopefully, you'll be comfortable with them. I've spent a long time putting these questions together. Number
Right.
one question is, why do you call yourself handicapped and hot? I guess that's a great question to start off with, right?
Sure. I think it came out of, well, I know it came out of me just wanting to get comfortable with being disabled and like trying to like let go of the discomfort and the shame, I guess, of it. I just didn't feel good about being called handicapped or disabled. So when I realized I needed to just embrace it more, I chose to call myself handicapped and hot, and that helped me to embrace the whole disability thing.
A lot of people probably are wondering whenever they see you why you have a cane, because you do walk with a cane, and maybe there's people that are out there that don't even know that you walk with a cane. So it's surprising for them to hear that right now. Can you
Yeah.
explain to them what the cane is for and why you have it everywhere you go?
Okay, so 21 years ago, I was paralyzed temporarily. And I started walking again because I can walk and all that fun stuff. But after a while, we just realized that my left side was weaker than my right side. So I started using different canes over the years, and I got down to this, the little basic one. And then we also realized that I have rheumatoid arthritis, and my left knee needs knee replacement. So although I can walk a lot better now, I do walk with a limp without my cane, and I do lose my balance sometimes. So I'd rather just use it than not and then fall or hurt myself worse. And plus, I don't want to put as much weight on my left knee, make it worse.
You had mentioned though that you were paralyzed before. Is that
Yeah.
what you said? What happened there? What caused this paralysis?
When I had my first son, I had a whole bunch of complications, but one of the biggest ones was they administered the epidural the wrong way. So they gave me two and they messed up. And it's called an epidural because you're supposed to put the anesthesia in the epidural space. And they missed that because I have spinal conditions. And it ended up paralyzing me for months. And I had to have all kinds of therapy and, you know, but I'm walking. So
When did it happen?
what'd you say?
When did it happen?
Oh, I said 21 years ago.
Oh, 21 years ago. Wow.
Yeah.
That's quite a long time ago. And here you
Yeah.
are, still with us, walking around, acting like nothing happened, and hot.
I made it.
Were you completely paralyzed?
I wasn't a quadriplegic. I could move my head and my neck and my arms, but I couldn't move my torso or my legs.
Did you sue when this happened though? Because this sounds pretty serious. I mean, I know that I would have. That's for sure. What happened here?
Yeah, I tried to, but it's not like they say on TV. Like I called like Jacoby and Myers, and I called the Hinarte. It's like a Spanish Jacoby and Myers. It was a bunch of like run around. You have to go there and start an investigation, pay, and having a preemie, and then me being like really sick. It just was too much to try to like keep handling all that stuff. So I did not sue.
Hmm. That is crazy. I would have done some, I would have done something. I mean, but like,
Yeah,
okay,
that's
like
another story time.
yeah. But so you call yourself handicapped and how, which is the name of this video. Fantastic. But do you consider yourself to be a disabled person? Really? I mean, is that really the way you look at yourself?
To an extent, yes, because there's a lot of things that I just can't do anymore, and you know, it's just reality. But I do as much as I can until I can't. So, it's a yes and no.
Do you have anything else though that because we were just talking about you consider yourself handicapped, uh, and so you do, right? But are there anything else that besides that whole thing with the paralysis that you suffered that made you have these conditions, or is there anything else that makes you disabled?
I do have. Well, first of all, I have a whole bunch of conditions, but
Okay.
the ones that are disabling is I have spinal stenosis, which for me means that my spinal canal is too narrow and it squeezes my neck and causes pain. I have rheumatoid arthritis in my joints, and I have fibromyalgia, which is widespread pain, overactive nerves, and I need knee replacement. I have a ruptured tendon in my shoulder that needs to be fixed, but I don't want to do it. And I have scoliosis. I think I have one more thing, but yeah, that's it.
Wow, man, you are like put together with tape. It feels like it's like so much
Wow,
stuff
not even
wrong with
like
you.
gorilla glue.
Oh no, tape. It's got scotch tape. Yeah.
Wow.
This was 20 years ago though, right? So if this started 20 years ago, I guess a lot of it started 20 years ago. What was your life before 20 years ago? What was it like being you? I mean, did you have these types of problems before? What was it like 20 years before? Like before all this happened to you?
Well, I did have back problems and pain, and I did have like other conditions that were bad, but I still was very active. I was pretty social, like with my friends, church, work, school. I was like, all over the place, but I had fun.
But now, so you were living a normal life, and you're like you're a teenager, um, and you're because I think this happened when you were 19, right? So you're 19. So before all this, you're a teenager, you're having fun, you're doing things uh, normally, right? Like almost normal. Like you were a little bit different, but then this happens. When this happens, like even at the very beginning, were you scared?
Yeah, it was really scary because like the biggest thing was I mean, there were other issues that happened, like complications when I was giving birth, but like there were a few times, I thought I was gonna die, but I didn't die. I made it. But I just didn't know how I was gonna take care of my kid. Like that was like the biggest thing. I figured even if I was all right and like in a wheelchair or whatever, like I would have been okay. Like we would have been able to deal with that. But like having a brand new preemie who was like sick and stuff, like I wasn't gonna be able to take care of him.
But
So
you
that was pretty
probably
scary.
needed a lot of help with that, though, right?
Oh my gosh, yeah. Yeah. My oldest sister was like the second mom, and my mom was like really good. They did everything for him for probably like the first couple of months. I was married, but um, my ex-husband was not very helpful with the baby. So they pretty much did everything. My little sister tried to help too, but she was like kind of young and wild.
Yeah,
But yeah,
what was she like? I mean, how old was she? Probably like
maybe like
12 or something?
13. Yeah,
13,
something
okay.
around there. Yeah. So it just, she was gung ho. She was very like helpful and she wanted to help, but she just wasn't, she just wasn't used. She's the baby. So she wasn't used to another baby really,
Yeah.
yeah, like that. So yeah, she
What are
tried.
some of the things that you used to do that you can't do now, though?
Oh my
Is there
gosh,
anything
it's a
like that?
lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I used to
Like
like
what?
roller skate, ice skate, ride a bike, jump, run, play, like all that kind of stuff. Like the normal stuff you do that you take for granted every day. Like I can't do that stuff. So swim.
Well,
Yeah.
you look pretty fit, though. I mean, what do you do to keep in this form that you have? Because you look pretty good. Yeah,
These
with the gun.
guys.
Yeah, exactly.
All
What's
right.
going
So
on here?
actually it's kind of funny and weird, but like I forgot what it's called, but I have some condition that makes my muscles kind of contract more than other people's. So that's part of it. And then a lot of my family's pretty, on my mom's side anyway, they're pretty muscular. So that's another thing. And also like I do like, housewife stuff. I'm pretty like I do dishes and I do laundry and so like in the summertime I do gardening and then I do stuff with my dog. But like and the cooking, I just think that that's enough to flex my muscles personally. So
Mhm. No
do more
doubt. Well,
dishes, girls.
so what are you do dishes and things like this? You do like normal things, I guess. I mean, like in a household, you're doing dishes. You do some laundry here and there. You're also outside gardening. You walk the dog. But what are some of the things that are challenging for you? I guess you can't run, right? Like you can't do things like this. That's probably one of the main things, right? Not being able
I
to move very
guess.
quickly.
Right, yeah. I mean lifting and things like that, that's pretty hard too. But just like day to day, so if I'm doing laundry, I need somebody to bring the laundry down the stairs for me and then to bring it back upstairs. But like I can wash it and fold it like, in the laundry room or whatever. And then if I'm like sometimes I need somebody to like empty the pasta water or to like fill up the big pot of water and then bring it to the stove so that I can cook and do all that stuff. But like I need help with certain things. And sometimes like with like sometimes I can't like take a shower right away. Like I might need help, so I have to wait for you to come home or whatever. Or like my hair, I need
Mhm.
help with that sometimes. Just depends on how I feel and how I'm doing.
So I haven't. I'm sure a lot of people feel this way too, because I sort of started this with this question. Like I've never heard of someone refer to themselves as handicapped and hot. And I guess it's a name that you came up with yourself, though. I mean, that's fine because it is an original name, right? So, but is that the reason why? Just because you wanted to have something original? Like, what's the reason for you calling yourself handicapped and hot?
No, it's just because I felt horrible about not being able to do anything anymore. I didn't want to walk around with my cane. And because I went from like a walker to the cane with like those things on the bottom, those big prongs, and then a different kind of cane, and then now a regular one. And it's just like I didn't want to have the handicap parking. I just thought it was just like not cool at all. And then when I started thinking about it more, I was like, well, it's hard to be walking from like all the way over there in the parking lot. So I was just like, I'll be handicapped, but if I'm handicapped and hot, it just doesn't sting as bad. And I made myself like a bling cane with rhinestones all around it. So.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question because I was going to say, how did you come to embrace it? So I guess that's sort of how you did it, right? By just starting to look at it in a different way.
Yeah, definitely. I had to change my mindset and like start calling the handicap parking I call it VIP parking, and just
Yeah,
stuff like
I
that.
know all
Just
about that because I love the handicap VIP parking when I get to participate in it, even though it's not
yes,
it's not
yeah,
really me participating, it's you, but
no, no, it's okay, it's okay. Those are the perks.
I was just about to ask, like, what are the benefits? I guess there's got to be some benefits to this, right?
Yeah, there's way more. Like even if we go, so we used to go visit my mom, like a few times, a couple times a month, whatever it was, and she always wanted to go to like museums and all this stuff and do all these excursions. And because I can't walk around for as long or as much, I would rent the scooter, and then we'd use those. But a lot of times, like there was a discount, or they would let us go to the front of the line. And it's like that, like at the airport too. I always have what's that called, like the porters at the
Hmm.
airport. They push you around, they put your luggage on. You tip them well, and they put you right in the front wherever you need to be. And then on top of that, it doesn't matter what class your ticket is, you're going on the plane first. So I love that. That's just, it's part of it. And usually people are pretty nice too. They'll be like, oh, go ahead. And they let you go first.
Yeah, I was going to ask too, like, do people treat you differently? And I know that when we went to Dubai, this is kind of tied into the same question that I just asked you about, what are the benefits, but do people treat you differently? They certainly do, because, when we were with each other in Dubai, there was a lot of big lines, especially the one at the Burj Khalifa, that we got to cut to the front of the line and everything because you were in the scooter. People noticed you right away, and we were able to cut a lot of time out that a lot of people had to wait, right, because of the scooter, right? And because of
Yeah.
them noticing that you being handicapped.
Yeah, it's good, and then it's bad. Sometimes people treat me differently, like, and they're weird, or they're like staring, and that kind of way. But like the good treatment I like, so that's fine. That's like more the VIP, which I feel like I deserve. But no, I think that my family used to treat me differently for a while, where they were like, really cautious and always like trying to, like, hold on to me and all that kind of stuff. And sometimes I need that, but then I think they realize that I do pretty well by myself with my own efforts, but sometimes I need some help. So it all depends, but usually the treatment that's different is helpful and positive.
Well, with all of the things that we spoke about just a minute ago, though, like those sort of benefits, is there any time that you ever take advantage of those?
No way. I'm a pretty
You
ethical
don't. I
person.
would.
Yeah.
I'd be all over
I'm
it.
sure. I'm sure. Yeah, no, we're pretty good. Like you have a placard and I have plates, but no, we
Mhm.
don't. I don't even think you have the placard in your car anymore.
I don't have it anymore now. And I mean, and when she says I have the placard, it's for her. I don't use it. Like
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
like
go
in the
parking in
glove.
handicap spots. You know what I
No,
mean?
no, it's
I
in the
don't do
glove
that
compartment.
unless she's in the car. But I guess one last thing, so that we can we don't want this to be too long. You know what I mean? So we want to get the basics out, and this is a great way for people to find out a little bit more about you. But if there was anything different that you could do at all, would you? And what would it be?
Regarding my disabilities?
With life and how this whole thing happened. If you could go back and change anything, what would it be and why?
I'll just keep it to the disability thing. I would go to a different doctor, and I would advocate more for myself, and probably just, you know, go to a different place. And then I think everything would be fine.
Also, probably go harder and stronger with this with the case, because
Oh, that's after. That's
yeah.
assuming I still was disabled. I wouldn't be disabled if I didn't have a bad anesthesiologist.
Yeah, well, that's
That's,
that's that's what I mean. That's what I'm talking about. The afterward part, I would have done differently if I were you.
yeah, yeah,
But
me too.
anything else that you wanted to say to your people before we wrap things up here? This is a fascinating life of Leona, handicapped and hot Mrs. Worldwide. Go ahead, the floor is yours.
Um, just stay tuned for some videos and some how-tos and just some conversations that I have with friends. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching, everybody. We will see you next time.